Gender-based violence is experienced worldwide in both the public and the private spaces, but mostly within the confines of the family. So when responding to gender-based violence, Belize is also responding to family violence. Over the years, Government of Belize has implemented multiple strategies and initiatives to address family violence, such as the development of the National and District Gender-Based Violence Committees, which provide oversight, coordination, and monitoring for the response at the national level. These committees also bring together multiple stakeholders such as police, human development, health, education, as well as representation from civil society. One of the most recent initiatives was streamlining the roles and responsibilities of the National Women's Commission and the Women and Family Support Department to ensure that one focuses more at the policy development and recommendations to government, while the other one focuses as programmatic efforts. The most important aspect of government's response to family violence is its multi-sectoral approach, ensuring that multiple levels provide services to clients and survivors of family violence.
Some of the initiatives that have been undertaken for the police officers to work with the family violence is that we have established family violence unit throughout the country at the police stations. We have also developed capacity building and for strengthening our officers in terms of educating them on gender-based violence. We have developed a curriculum component for officers at the National Police Training Academy. We have trained specific officers to deal with gender-based violence with the Crimes Information Management System, and also for them to send their information to assist with the Joint Intelligence Coordinating Center. We have also assisted in educating other persons through community policing outreach programs for young people to understand what is gender-based violence.
Over the years, government has taken a lot of initiatives. One, looking at drafting legislation as it relates to domestic violence. They've put in place what we call our FamCare, which is an online case management system that allows us to track cases from start to finish. I think one of the biggest initiatives though was amalgamating the Women's Department and the Family Support Services to form the Women and Family Support Department, which sort of strengthens the case management response or the support to women in domestic violence situations. Also, there was much work done with some of the safe houses to look at strengthening the services, helping them put together policies and structures for these shelters.
Belize have a gender-based violence surveillance system which started in the year 2000, and it involved all the different service providers to survivors of gender-based violence. We have one form that is standardized, that is used by all agencies to help us to provide continuum of care to survivors. In the response for gender-based violence, we also include the community health workers, because in their training curriculum, we include aspects of sexual and reproductive health, which also covers topics on gender-based violence. So they would be probably the first contact between the health system and the survivors requiring services. The gender-based violence also is included in the sexual and reproductive health policy, which was approved in 2002 and is currently under revision.
The Department of Youth Services sees the family structure as a gateway to effective and productive young people if built properly. Hence, we engage in mentorship programs that teach on conflict mediation and capacity building. We also have a host of youth officers nationwide attached to counselors that assist with life skills training in the classroom. And of course, we have our health and well-being unit and community outreach unit that look at anti-violence and positive mental health.
Some of the areas that will benefit as a result of the Spotlight Initiative's 6 pillars will be legislation and institutional training, as well as strengthened monitoring and evaluation mechanisms that support data-driven programs, services and actions that promote norms and values against violence, and of course, capacity building of both state and non-state actors. The evaluation of the National Gender Policy and the National Gender-Based Violence action plan will allow Belize to assess how well both these policy documents have been implemented, as well as provide recommendations on the best way forward to address the gaps and challenges that still exist. Additionally, the engagement of men as advocates in the work against violence will bring great benefit to Belize and families.
The Spotlight initiative will greatly assist the ministry in the sense that the officers will be more sensitized to be able to deal with human rights, as well as to develop their standards and their obligations, their gender and family violence, to help with attitudinal changes within the Belize Police Department.
So in addition, the Spotlight initiative looks at the definition of essential services packages and defining what that is to respond to gender-based violence, and also looking at essential service package not only in normal times but also in disaster management times or emergency situations.
We are looking at strengthening the gender-based violence surveillance system. We are looking at improving the access to information and services by families that will help them to reduce the number of teen pregnancies. These problems that we are dealing with are social problems, hence they need a social response. They need the response from the society as a whole.
Well, the Spotlight project will support initiatives through a scale-up of high-quality education of sexual reproductive health, of course, through our online platforms that will distribute accessible information for sexual reproductive health and rights, and of course, for the implementation of social and behavioral change programs through art, music, and entertainment that will build on our art program as well as our music studio.
Addressing family violence is extremely important because it is so widespread and for many years socially accepted. However, government should not be the only one working in transforming social, cultural, and economic obstacles that hinder families from living lives free of violence. Everyone must play a role.